And we're doing these draft comparables for you here. Lamar Jackson, whose grade from Scouts Inc. is an 86, is one of the most interesting prospects this year. And so we've got these guys who are comparable to him in recent past. Ryan Clark, you want to guess who they are?
Deshaun Watson and Colt McCoy.
My God, that's right. That is unbelievable, but he got that right. No one can believe it. His profile is similar to those two players, and obviously the level of success quite different. Colt McCoy is a backup in the NFL, and Deshaun Watson, before he got hurt, looked like he was trending towards being a star, and I think still is in most people's view. So just a year ago, Deshaun Watson slipped all the way to number 12. He was the third quarterback taken, yet he led the NFL in total QBR before that season-ending injury. Let's bring Shefty into the conversation here. All right, Shefty, yesterday you kind of kicked up a stir on our show with the Baker Mayfield talk at number 1. What is the very latest chatter?
Look, we're still waiting to hear, Greeny, who the Cleveland Browns are going to take at number 1. We know that the Browns general manager, John Dorsey, knows at this point, obviously, who he's going to select. And I think the Browns owners, Jimmy and Dee Haslam, also probably know. But outside of those three people, I don't know that there's a person who knows for sure what the Cleveland Browns will do at the number 1 spot. I think they've talked about Sam Darnold, the USC quarterback. I think they've talked about Baker Mayfield, the Oklahoma quarterback. I'm sure they've given some consideration to Josh Allen. But right now, it certainly seems like it was shaping up to be a decision between Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold. My sense today would be that it would be Sam Darnold, but I really do not know that. And if we're looking for any hints and looking for any clues, when Sam Darnold came to pick up his suit in California, he had a brown tie that he's going to be wearing to the draft. Now, you tell me, why is Sam Darnold wearing a brown tie to the draft on Thursday?
I think it would have been
that you ordinary.
It would have been more impressive, Shefty, if he bought an orange tie. Like, you can match brown to a lot.
Maybe with a brown suit.
Well, again,
Go ahead, Chef.
Yeah, we're waiting to see what is brown. I would think, listen, navy, some kind of navy suit for Sam Darnold. But he went with the brown tie, so we'll see if that matches the team that he goes to on Thursday night there.
Here's the thing I keep thinking about, and maybe it's just because I want something fascinating and surprising to happen. But Ryan, you've already said you like Josh Rosen, the best of all the quarterbacks in this draft. If they were to settle on someone like that, who might fall? Shefty, is there any conceivable chance that they would take Saquon Barkley number 1 and then take the quarterback that fell to them at number 4?
Listen, certainly I'm sure they discussed that scenario. But the fact of the matter is this. The Cleveland Browns have had 28 different starting quarterbacks since they've come back to Cleveland. They got cute and traded away the rights to Carson Wentz 2 years ago. They got cute and traded away the rights to Deshaun Watson last year. And it landed them a bevy of picks. What do they have to show for all those picks that they got back for Carson Wentz and Deshaun Watson? So now, are you going to get cute with a quarterback again and let the New York Giants and New York Jets have their choice of quarterbacks before they get back to you? Yeah, you'd have Saquon Barkley on your roster or whatever player you deem worthy of the number 1 overall pick. But they've gotten too cute with too many quarterbacks too many times in the past to do it again, which is why we fully expect there to be a quarterback picked at number 1 by the Cleveland Browns on Thursday night.
And so, RC, real quick, if it was you, you would make that pick, Josh Rosen, you would take him 1 overall?
But see, that's the thing. I wouldn't, even though I think he's the most ready quarterback. I don't think Josh Rosen is part of this conversation. I think Sam Darnold ends up being that guy because he's the guy who came into the season projected to be number 1, and nobody has taken it from him. Also, on the back end of that, I agree with Adam that you have to go quarterback here because if you look at number 4, worst case scenario, Bradley Chubb is sitting there to pair with Myles Garrett. Or if the Giants feel like they can get a guy at number 2 who can be the heir apparent to Eli Manning, and a quarterback's going to New York, you can end up with Saquon Barkley. True. So you make the smart choice and you get your quarterback of choice. Don't wait to who's been passed down to you because you tried it with Brandon Wheaton. You tried it with Brody Coyle. You tried it with all these different people. You need to go get your guy at the top of this draft.
Yeah, look, they could wind up with Saquon at 4. You're right. They could do it in the reverse way, and it probably is much safer. Let's go to Gronk here, Shefty. He posted on Instagram yesterday to announce that he is coming back, and I saw quotes from his agent, Drew Rosenhaus. Why did he ultimately decide to come back, and what did all of this sort of mean?
Well, I'll say this. Look, we had a situation here where I think the New England Patriots would have shopped Rob Gronkowski, and they would have had the ability to trade him. But Rob Gronkowski would have had the ability to say, I'm not going to the team that you're trading me to. I'm just going to retire. We've heard him talk about retirement. So really, it was a zero-sum game for both. It was in the best interest of both parties to have this be the outcome. And so yesterday, Gronkowski spoke to Belichick. Look, he wants to play with Tom Brady. That's the quarterback that he wants to play with. He doesn't want to go play with another quarterback. And I think if they hadn't had that conversation, I think the New England Patriots absolutely would have been open to trading him. And I think Rob Gronkowski would have been open to the idea that he didn't have to report anywhere, so he could have backed out of a deal, nixing any trade from happening. So there are a lot of variables at place that led them back to where they were, which means that Rob Gronkowski is going to be playing this season for the New England Patriots and not anybody else.
Adam, as far as you know, was retirement something he was really considering or that he even wanted, or was it just a matter of circumstances and trying to make sure he was in the position or in the circumstance that he deemed the best for him?
Ryan, I think if they would have traded Rob Gronkowski, I think retirement would have been in the cards for him at that point in time. I think ultimately in the back of his mind, he was always planning to come back to New England. I think he wanted to talk to them and see how the offseason developed. I don't think that was ever really a viable option in my mind. But had he been traded to a place that he didn't want to go, I think that was the trump card that he held here, that he could basically have a no-trade clause without having a no-trade clause in his contract. And Gronk's no-trade clause was to just say, basically, if you trade me, I'll retire. I'm not going. You can't trade me. You can't get something back from me. So he winds up speaking to Bill Belichick. They come to the resolution that they do, and Rob Gronkowski will be back where I think most people expected he would, playing tight end for the New England Patriots.
All right, it's Adam Schefter, and again, you'll be glued to his Twitter feed nonstop for the next 36 hours as we get set for tomorrow night's round one of the NFL draft. Thank you, Shefty, and we'll check in again.